What a sad end to Magnus's former tutor. He fought brilliantly and fought hard against Amon, but alas, was torn asunder. Welcome on in, this is Screws and Studs, and today we are going to be taking a look at Magistus Amon and see exactly what JoyToy has done to bring the miniature into this action figure form. The action figure of Amon is way cleaner than the source material that it is derived from. Everything about the action figure is a lot more distinguished than the painting of the miniature, especially the face area. The general vibe that I get from this action figure is that he's a true sorcerer, even if you did not know that he really is a Psyker. He looks properly mysterious, yet gives off an air of supreme confidence and knowledge. And I believe that this look is accentuated by the robes and stoles that Amon is wearing, in which I will get to in a second. The head area looks like your archetypal evil magician, which is reminiscent of the look of Jafar from the Disney movie Aladdin. He's got these unique tattoos on the top of his head that consists of a thousand sun symbol with wings that are radiating out from the sun icon. The hawkish nose really fits well with the overall aesthetic of the face. Another nice effect is that he's got some rouge on his cheeks to make them even more pronounced. Finally, the pointed goatee really matches with the hawkish nose. The most prominent thing about Amon is this gigantic wing here that is reaching for the sky on the right pauldron, in which I believe no other Horus Heresy action figure possesses. The alternating bands of metallic silver and green really draw attention to this wing. The left shoulder area is clearly not a pauldron, but is some sort of modified shoulder pad with a stark red gem in the center of it. Arms-wise, there is a single golden curl and a triangular green gemstone that contrasts well with the red of the armor at the bottom. The top of the arm looks like it is covered in luxurious fabric, which is another individualistic touch. Focusing in on the chest area, the presence of the two stoles that are flanking the center of the armor further accentuate the look that this Marine is a Psyker. Also, one quick note with the stoles, it seems like this is a very vulnerable piece, so you're going to have to be careful not to rip this off if you're going to operate this action figure vigorously. Anyway, between the stoles are two scarab wings with what appears to be the Eye of Magnus with this green pupil, or at the simplest, an ancient Egyptian hieroglyph of an eye. The patterning of the symbol really draws your attention to the center of this figure. Migrating down the Marine, the golden scarab belt buckle is rather muted compared to some of the massive cowboy-like belt buckles that we have seen in the Horus Heresy lineup. Then dangling down from this buckle is the presence of this forest green tabard that stands out against the red of the armor. There is a large green tome that matches the rest of the aesthetic of the action figure. The pages of the tome here are nicely shaded to provide a nice separation. It's a shame that these two large parchment scrolls are on the back of Amon, because these are an excellent example of what scrolls are supposed to look like and be, in my opinion. Again, there's a brilliant usage of shading right here to really coax out the flavor in this area. The design of the leg area is clearly not bland at all. In fact, it is quite the opposite, which is a relief. I love the golden iconography that is all throughout the legs that break up the candy apple red color. The knee area also sports a glittery green that resembles an eye, which could be loosely based off of the Eye of Magnus. Now, in the ankle area, you can see that JoyToy has upgraded this joint from plastic to metal, as the joint is now shiny. I've been noticing they've been doing very slight, subtle upgrades to make their action figures better and more durable over time. So kudos to them for their forward thinking. Now, subtracting the cape, tome, and scrolls, there is really nothing to see in terms of the character in the back. There's only this vast expanse of a glossy red that is punctuated by some golden bands that are in the thigh area. However, bringing the spice to the back is the very majestic cape of Amon. I love how the cape literally cascades over the shoulders of Amon and spills gracefully over. The cape is attached to the shoulders with a loop on each side, which makes the cape a lot more secure as opposed to the Spacefull's Legion Traitor, which is right here, and the anchor points are only in these two areas, which makes it seem like you can rip this cape off if you're not careful with it. Aside from that, there is a magnificent golden scarab that seems to be cradling a Thousand Suns logo, with the chapter legion symbol of 15 in the middle of it. The inner lining of the cape is a lush verdant green with highlighting and excellent scarab iconography on the edges of it. And then finally, to add to the 50 pieces of flair, there are 2 stoles that flank the cape as well. Again, there's something to be said about these Mark IV backpacks. They truly stand shoulders above the plain Mark X backpacks. The hoses, the fans, as well as the vents here bring out a certain sort of individualism to this area, even though these backpacks were mass-produced. Now, the Reliquary of Dust is a truly distinguished example of what a mage staff is supposed to look like. On the shaft, there is nice alternating bands of gold and silver that really gives off a regal character to this staff. Now, I'm not sure how much of you are Elden Ring fans, but there are some verdant green vials here that remind me of Tiolier's poison perfume bottles to a T. Then topping the middle portion of the staff is a green orb that is kind of reminiscent of the orbs that are found on the Necron Lord's carapace. Then topping the staff is almost like a furled index finger. I find, unfortunately, that the overall coloring here is rather shallow due to the lack of shading, which could have added a lot more depth in this area. Also, the staff can be taken apart right here for more compact storage. Now, I know Amon also has an Archaeotech pistol, but it would have been nice to see this piece of equipment. Sadly, JoyToy did not decide to include it because, well, GW decided not to make a model of it, so therefore JoyToy did not have a blueprint to design it. And there is the review. Now, please join me for the wrap-up. So overall, folks, I really do enjoy the look of Amon. Again, as I said at the beginning of the review, he really embodies that evil sorcerer type Psyker look to a complete T. And this look is brought out by the piercing stare of the eyes, the hawkish nose, the goatee. The overall effect of the robes on his armor is just absolutely fantastic. And speaking of the robes and the cape, I think the way that the cape is attached onto the body of the action figure is really awesome, in that the holes loop around the socket of the shoulder joint, which is a lot better and more secure than the Space Wolves Legion Traitor, where it is attached by just these 2 little tiny anchor points, which makes you afraid that the cape is going to fall off. So I think if you are a Thousand Suns fan, this is one of those must-buy action figures. The guy is truly unique, and he is a significant part of the Thousand Suns lore. And if you are interested in getting Amon, you should get him at David Toys. You can click in the link in the description below, or you will be brought to David Toys' website, which is by far the best and most well-designed website that I have seen. And before you check out, once again, do not forget to use the code SNS for 12% off of your purchase, so that you can save more money to buy even more plastic crap. And as usual, thank you so much, members of the chapter, for watching this action figure review to its entirety. I once again appreciate all the likes, comments, and the support that you've been giving the channel. And I thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one.